This is Devin with the Cage Rage podcast, and I am back with this week's edition of the CRP Prospect of the Week. This one was a little bit more difficult than last week to choose exactly which fighter I wanted to profile, because it was between the man I chose and Johnny Walker, who is fighting Misha Cirkunov on the prelims on ESPN for UFC 235. But I decided to go with Zabit Magomedsharipov, mainly because I feel like we've seen more out of him at this point than when I have seen Johnny Walker, and I'm a little bit more sold on him that he's going to be a top 5 potential champion of the featherweight division, more sold than I am of Johnny Walker. Zabit has definitely made a name for himself already. He's not exactly unknown at this point. Very exciting fights, especially his fight with Kyle Bochniak. And he showed off some very good submission skills, some very good striking techniques. And his fights have been definitely very exciting, and he's getting pushed very fast now after going 4-0 to start his inside the octagon career. And he does have a mouthful of a name, so a lot of people are just simply referring to him as Zabit, which that's all right, because there's been other famous people that we've known of that are referred to by a singular name. You got Cher, you got Madonna, you got the lead singer of U2, Bono, you've got McLovin, if anybody's ever seen Superbad, and you've got the current UFC lightweight champion of the world, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who also has a mouthful of a last name, so a lot of people simply refer to him as Khabib. So singular names and singular references aren't necessarily a bad thing, and referring to him as Zabit is easy, and I think that people are going to know that name Zabit for a long time. Zabit is returning after going 4-0 in his first 4 octagon fights, going against definitely the biggest step up in competition of his career to this point, and Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens, who is known as one of the more powerful strikers at featherweight. He was even known as one of the more powerful strikers when he used to fight up at lightweight. And he's a very, very skilled veteran who has been around for years, and he has almost 30 fights inside the octagon. So this is a big step for Khabib. Khabib is 16-1 in his pro career. He is 27 years old, and he is fighting out of Russia. He's, like I said, he's 4-0 inside the octagon. He's going against Jeremy Stevens. Right now, the UFC has him ranked as the number 13 contender at featherweight, and he's going against Jeremy Stevens, who is ranked number 6 at featherweight. So this is definitely a fight that if he gets by this big hurdle, it will propel him into the top 10, and then he can start looking for a serious contender fight. And it's very interesting when you consider what's going on with the top of featherweight right now, because Max Holloway just got announced that he is going to be moving up a weight class to take on Dustin Poirier for the interim lightweight title at UFC 236 in April. So the biggest question that I had when I heard that news is what happens with featherweight right now. And you've got Jose Aldo, who's lost to Max Holloway twice, the longtime featherweight champion, who many people consider to be the featherweight greatest of all time. But he's openly talking about how he doesn't intend to fight past 2019, and he's looking to start sunsetting his career. You got Brian Ortega, who just lost his first title fight to Max Holloway. And you got Frankie Edgar, who's in his late 30s and is definitely looking at the sunset of his career. And then you got a lot of other young contenders for this division that I think is a very exciting division that just haven't really blossomed into full-on superstardom yet, like Volkanovski and Moicano and Mirsad Bektek and Yair Rodriguez. So Zabit with a win here is definitely positioning himself as a potential title contender in a division that's going to need new and fresh faces to headline and market for with this division. So Zabit Magomedsharipov, definitely the prospect of the week. He's got a big fight coming up. It's going to be on ESPN. He will be the main fight on the prelims this Saturday on ESPN. Tune in, check out this young contender. I think he wins this fight. I think he goes on to bigger and better things. I think it's probable we'll see Zabit eventually fighting for a UFC featherweight title fight, unless all the hype is just overhyped, which I don't think that's going to be the case, just judging by his fights that we've seen so far. This has been a CRP Prospect of the Week video. Hit the like button. Tune in next time.